all a product of our upbringing, and we learn many patterns of behaviour when we're very young. We may learn the pattern of I do it myself, or we may learn the pattern of my value lies in what I do, not who I be, or I'm responsible whenever anything goes wrong, or it's my job to fix everything, or I have to be the peacemaker or the responsible one. So we take on these particular patterns and they become second nature to us. And people then live out of those patterns. Maybe when things go wrong in their life, they isolate or they numb themselves with drugs or alcohol or busyness, or filling up their diary in some way so that they don't actually have to feel any of the emotions that lie beneath the surface. So I think lots of people live like this, doing the best they know how, given who they are, what's happened to them and what they've made of it, until they bump into, we call them one of the D's in life. So we live out of what has become second nature to us, and you'll often hear people talk about, oh, it's second nature for me to feel like this, it's second nature for me to think like this, it's second nature for me to react like this. And no one ever questions, well, what is your first nature? And I think it's often not until we bump into one of these D's, and a D might be a disappointment, a drama, a disaster, a divorce, a diagnosis, a death, a debt, a depression, a despair, a disability, a disfigurement. There's a whole bunch of these D's. And when you bump into one of those, everything that's second nature to you doesn't work. So it might be second nature for you to comfort yourself with food. It might be second nature for you to not sleep so well or to sleep all the time. It might be second nature for you to drown your sorrows with alcohol or numb yourself with drugs. Or it may be second nature to us to go into I do this myself, or into withdrawing and isolating behaviours. But whatever this D is, it demands more of us than we might ever have to draw on previously. And it gives us an opportunity to ask those deeper fundamental questions about our own existence of who am I? What am I doing on the planet? Am I living the life I came here to live? If not, why not? And what am I going to do about it? And I think for Penny, first of all, the relationship breakdown and then the breakdown with her health were both profound catalysts for change for her to reflect upon the whole of her life, how the choices she'd made, the decisions that she'd made over time, and to choose new decisions and choices that were much more life-affirming and much more respectful of herself as a woman and respectful of others as well in her relationships.